Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Yanks survive and force a Game 3. In a game that I definitely thought we were going to lose, they did not. They hung tough. They win 4-3, win Game 2. Game 3, Thursday night, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN, for all the marbles. This is it, Yankees Red Sox. It doesn't get any better than this. Last night's victory was a game that I thought they were going to lose, and they didn't. They hung tough. I'll go through the game a little bit. I want to talk about Rodon, a few other things, but this game starts with Ben Rice. Thank God he's in the lineup. Absolutely roping a cutter over the right field wall, just completely smoked it. 6 players since 2000 to homer on the first pitch he's seen in postseason play. Trevor Story gets a 2 RBI single. Yankees get a huge 4-6-3 double play and a great play by Jazz. Jazz Chisholm was incredible. We'll talk about him later today, not just his defense, but his at-bats and his base running. They didn't slug. They didn't hit home runs. They manufacture. Okay, yes. Aside from Rice's homer, which was literally like the first inning, they battled. Judge still hasn't shown power, but he was able to get an RBI base hit single that Duran couldn't get in left field. Story hits a home run. Story gives me like the fear of God. He makes me so nervous. So Red Sox, Yankees tied at 3 in the 6th. Chisholm makes an incredible play up the middle to save a run off of Yoshida's bat, to hold everyone, to hold the runner at third base. You got bases loaded, 2 outs. Cruz is pitching, and then gets out of it by getting a fly out to center. And he was really, really pumped up. This is the top of the 7th. Story's up. I'm really worried. Bases loaded, and he flies out to Grisham in center. I thought that ball was smoked. But he goes crazy. It was awesome. I was super fired up. Devin Williams gets a huge double play, getting Nathaniel Lowe to ground out to him. So he holds top 8, 3-3. And then Austin Wells in the bottom of the 8th gets a go-ahead base hit to right field. Chisholm is running before the pitch, is sent, and has a great slide at home, and that's his speed. He was amazing defensively. He got on via a walk because he was patient off of Garrett Whitlock. And then, again, David Bednar in Game 3. I know it was scary because he hit it to right field a few feet from the wall, but Judge catches it in right field. Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. And force a Game 3. So, a little recap for you there. It was awesome. And I want to talk about Rodon because this is a game that he usually and historically falls apart. When things are going well for him, he is cruising. And we know about his elite stuff, and he's a stud. When things are not going well for him, the wheels fall off, and you get that huge, huge bad inning. And this is where I have to give Boone credit. So, he had a really good changeup, a really good slider. I wouldn't say his command was pinpoint. His stuff was good, but just wasn't commanding it consistently. But changeup was absolutely filthy. Gets eaten on a devastating changeup to strike him out in the 7th. Bases loaded, no outs in the 3rd. Gets Rough Snyder on a changeup to strike him out, and then blows a fastball right by Navarez. Later in the 5th inning. Slider's working. Changeup was really good. He battled, and then at one point, I believe in the 6th. So he punches out Kyle Teal on a slider. Or excuse me, not Kyle Teal. He gets a strikeout with a slider. And then Boone comes out to the mound. And Boone is walking slowly. And you think he's going to take him out. And they just have a conversation. And he leaves him in. It's interesting. A lot of these analytically driven teams, you're seeing a lot of managers go with their gut, particularly with starting pitchers. I think definitely that played a role because he took out Fried the night before. So there's no way there wasn't recency bias there, but he kept him in and he battled and he kept them in the game. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. He did have some walks. I mean, again, the command wasn't there. The stuff was good, but he battled. He kept his team in the game. That's all you can ask for. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do against elite teams in the playoffs. It's do or die. You have to mitigate as much damage as you possibly can, and he did that. And I really have to give him credit. It wasn't his most impressive performance, but to me, it was because of historically how he melts down and because he has bad innings. He hung tough, and I think that held the game in hand and got it from getting away. And then you have to credit the bullpen. I mean, there's absolutely no question about it. They come in. Cruz makes a couple big pitches. He gets that big out with Story. I thought it was gone. I'm going to be honest. As soon as he hit it, I'm like, oh, crap. But he did hit it to center field, and Grisham was there. And then Williams gets that huge double play. And then Bednar. Like, that guy, I think it's the single biggest move that Cashman made all year to get him. What a luxury and what a stress reliever on everybody else in that bullpen. Cruz, Williams, they don't have to close. Weaver, if he comes back in. Hill. These guys know that you have a shutdown closer. 2 strikeouts. He did give up a big fly ball to right field. Judge was on it. And they get the save. They force a game 3. Just a tremendous job by this team. This was a gutted out performance by everyone. They had, other than the home run by Rice, which we're going to get to in a second, they had to grind out this win. And sometimes you have to do that, and they did. They found a way to win a baseball game. And they didn't slug their way out of it. It was awesome. It's really, really good to see that they can do this. And Boone, I thought, made a lot of good moves tonight. Not just because they won, because the moves I thought were good. I thought Rodon should have stayed in the game, and he left him in the game. I definitely thought he was going to take him out, but he did it. And because who else are you going to bring in who has better stuff than him? And he didn't have a high pitch count at that point. So, but before the game even started, you got to give Boone credit because he had Ben Rice in the lineup. Ben Rice needs to be in the lineup. I don't care if there's a lefty on the mound. I really don't. You got to put your best hitters at the plate, especially in elimination games. And Ben Rice was incredible. He went 2 for 4. By the way, one of his outs, he absolutely smoked it. Maybe his hardest hit ball of the night, and then lined it to right field with guys on base and just got robbed. But he hits a double. He ropes a 2-run homer just to really set the tone in the first inning. He's been absolutely incredible. He has to be in the lineup. I don't care if there's a lefty on the mound. I do not care. He's got to be in the game. He is a huge part of this offense. He has been all year. And he was incredible. The first pitch he saw, he just absolutely ropes it. Game 3, which is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN, primetime. I cannot wait. It's going to be so exciting. So what I like is that, yes, the Yankees have to use their bullpen, but they have also made Boston use a lot of their bullpen. And last night, Chapman, just watch for this tonight in Game 3. Chapman didn't pitch last night in Game 2, but they got him up twice in the bullpen to throw, which is really, really good. I remember listening to a podcast with Terry Francona and Curt Schilling, and Francona was talking about the 2016 World Series with the Indians, when he was with the Indians versus the Cubs. And he was explaining that they wanted them to use Chapman a lot. And they wanted, not only did they want to use Chapman, they wanted him to be stressed every game where he was going to get up in the bullpen and throw pitches. And even if he didn't come in the game, he would fire bullets and use him, like usage. He goes, not just usage in the game, but usage in the bullpen. You have a finite number of bullets in the gun, as he said. You want to make sure that you're stressing their staff and their bullpen out and making them work and making them get up. Have that phone be ringing off the hook. I remember him saying. And he said that was one of the reasons in Game 7 of the 2016 World Series that Rajai Davis hit that home run off of Chapman, because he was used so much in that series, and he was hoping that he would make a mistake, and the only ball that Rajai Davis could have hit was a ball that was down and in and not up, because Chapman throws 100, and he was just tired and he missed a spot, and that's what got the home run. And so I'm thinking tonight in Game 3, the Yankees got Chapman up twice last night. He didn't pitch, but he got up twice and had to throw. So he's been used quite a bit. And you know him from playing with the Yankees. When he doesn't get regular rest, he's not great. He's just not. So he's been used quite a bit. And that Game 1 outing, that was quite stressful. He gave up 3 straight hits. He was able to wiggle out of it. But that was quite a few pitches. And then he threw last night. Watch for that tonight in Game 3 if he comes in. He's been stressed the last couple days. He's thrown a lot, whether it's in the bullpen or it was on the mound. So just remember that. Just remember Chapman, that he comes in tonight, he's a little gassed and he's a little tired. And if he makes a mistake, the Yankees have to make him pay. They do. Because you're probably going to see him. It's an elimination game, and you're going to see all their best relievers probably way earlier than you normally would, because it's an elimination game. I mean, starters are getting taken out in the second or third inning. Dylan Cease was cruising yesterday for the Padres, and the second he gave up a base hit, he was like untouchable. Mike Schild took him out. I mean, this is just what's happening. You're seeing it pretty much everywhere, that everyone's on a short hook, especially in elimination games. So Game 3 tonight, Cam Schlittler takes the bump. I think this guy has the best stuff on the team. He's a 24-year-old righty, as we know, unproven, but he's the number 6 prospect. And, since July 9th, he's been very, it depends on his command, but if he is getting the ball over the plate, his stuff is electric. He has got a 83, 84 mile an hour breaking ball that's 12-6 that drops off the table. He throws 101 miles an hour. It looks like tonight, Connolly Early, the number 6 prospect for the Red Sox, is going to start against Schlittler. So it should be really good. And Schlittler, I think grew up in Massachusetts and played at Northeastern University. So he's really excited to pitch, and it's kind of special for him to pitch against the Red Sox. He's 4-3 with a 2.96 ERA. Again, in the over 100 miles an hour with his fastball. He's got electric stuff. I think he's got the best stuff on the staff, quite honestly. I don't think he's the best pitcher. And I talked about this before. I thought the depth of this starting staff was going to and the addition of Bednar was going to get this team pretty far. Now, Judge and Stanton, Rice's will be in the lineup. Judge has to hit. It's good he's getting on base, and that's fine. At some point, he's going to have to slug, either an extra base hit or a home run. This team will not go far without that guy. But last night's win was a huge confidence booster for me, knowing that they could win, and they could win like that. Connolly Early is a lefty. Really good breaking ball, 82, 83 miles an hour, kind of a three-quarter type delivery. But obviously he's a good sweeper that he'll use a lot to lefties. 83, 84. So a lot of curveballs, a lot of sweepers. Fastballs sitting at probably 94, sometimes 95. I'll throw that into righties. But I can't wait. This is going to be absolutely incredible. The vibes are going to be insane. Yankee Stadium will be going crazy. Starting lineups. So at least with the Red Sox, facing a righty, the Red Sox is probably going to break out their A lineup for the first time in this series. So If you're facing Schlittler, I think it's going to be Duran in left field, Trevor Story at short, Bregman at third, Yoshida DHing low at first, Rafael at center, Abreu in right, Romy Gonzalez at second, and Navarez catching. And again, I think that's probably likely. And then the Yankees, if they have a lefty with Early on the mound, you're going to start Grisham in center, leading off Judge, Bellinger, because Bellinger can hit lefties and righties. Stanton, Rice, I don't care. He's a lefty. Rice has to be in the lineup at first base. If Ben Rice is not in the lineup, I'm gonna lose it. Rosario at third, Chisholm at second. I think he has to play. Volpe at short, and then Wells catching. But I just really think that Early could be on a shorter leash just because it's an elimination game and he's young and sort of unproven. But again, with the bullpens, so Whitlock threw a high 47 pitches, his season high last night in Game 2. Again, it's an elimination game, so you would think anyone's available. Chapman threw, again, 24 pitches in Game 1, but he didn't pitch on Game 2, but he was up throwing in the bullpen several times. Just remember that. Cruz threw 14 pitches, Williams threw 19, Bednar threw 16. They all worked Game 1, but I just think it's all hands on deck. And, we'll see. It should be exciting. I can't wait. This has been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Join me tomorrow to recap the rubber match. Game 3, it's do or die. Yankees-Red Sox. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye.